How many of you have little kids? Like in diapers? I don't know about you, but I've been out with little kids. I've raised several kids now, and sometimes they poop in their diapers. You ever have to change a diaper like that when you're out and about? Maybe you're out to eat or at somebody's house and you have this diaper and you're just like, and you just want to keep this thing as far away from you just because it stinks so bad. Or maybe you've got a young kid who threw up in the bed in the night. They got sick and now you have this bedding that's just gross and nasty, and it smells rotten, and you get a sack or something, and you're thinking about just throwing this away, and you just are like, oh my stars, and it's so bad. It's so bad you don't even want to get close enough to smell it. This is the idea that I want you to keep in mind as we go through our next section here in 1 Peter in our 5-minute messages. We're in 1 Peter chapter 2. We're going to be looking at verses 11 and 12 today. We're on to this new section. Peter's going to be talking to us about something a little different now. God wants you to act differently. So we've been thinking about some other topics lately, but he's going to switch gears now. He wants you to act differently. He wants you to be different. And when I think about being different, I had an incident at the store this morning where we were looking at this juice, and there was one of them that just stood out from all the other ones. It just looked different. We had to look at it. Is it out of date? Did it separate somehow? What's wrong? Is there something wrong with this? What's going on here? It just stood out. And that's what God wants from each one of us as his children. He wants us to stand out and be different, be distinct from everybody else. All the other unbelievers, we're supposed to be standing out. We're supposed to be outshining and being this bright light, not hidden. We're supposed to stand out from everybody else and be different. If everybody was stood up in a row, you should stand out like a sore thumb. God wants you to act differently. And in this next section, we're going to be thinking of 3 ways that we can be acting differently. In this verses 11 and 12, by abstaining from lusts. And we're going to talk about what that means today. And next week, we're going to be thinking about acquiescing to human intuitions. And then in a couple weeks, by acting like a free man. But today, we're going to be thinking about abstaining from lusts in verses 11 and 12. Let's read this passage. Beloved, I beg you as sojourners and pilgrims, abstain from fleshly lusts, which war against the soul, having your conduct honorable among the Gentiles, that when they speak against you as evildoers, that they, by your good works which they observe, glorify God in the day of visitation. He starts off by begging us, I beg you, as sojourners and pilgrims. He reminds us that we're just passing through this place. Remember, 1 Peter is written to encourage us in the midst of trials or troubles or hard times or issues that arise, because life's not always sunshine and rainbows, is it? Remember, you're just passing through. This world is not my home. We just occupy this tent, and one day this tent's going to go bye-bye. One day we're going to be up in heaven with Jesus. We're just passing through. This place is not my home, but heaven is. We're just sojourners and pilgrims. He says, abstain from fleshly lusts. As you go through this place, abstain from fleshly lusts. And this word abstain means to hold away from one's person. Hold it away. Just like a young person's vomited bed, hold it away. Or a stinky diaper that just reeks and you hold it away from you. You should be abstaining. You should be holding away from you fleshly lusts. Now, these lusts can take all different kinds of forms. It could be sexual in nature, and I've seen enough Ray Comfort videos to know that even women have lustful thoughts, okay? It's not just us men out there that struggle with this, and it is a war. It says that, which war against the soul. Now, these lusts can take the form of anything, really anything. All kinds of evil desires that lurk and live inside of your heart that want to manifest themselves as sin. It could be sexual in nature. It could be all different kinds of lusts. They war against the soul, and you need to be ready for this war. Your conduct should be honorable as you fight this war, so that when people look at you, you stand out and you act differently because people are watching you. You should stand out. You should stick out like a sore thumb because you're holding your lusts at arm's length or longer and everybody else is enjoying theirs. Abstain.